This is John Lindsley with a special report on the Battle of Gettysburg. July 1st, 1863 began the Battle of Gettysburg, located in Pennsylvania. This historic battle took place between the Union Army of the Potomac, led by General George Meade, and the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia, led by General Robert E. Lee. After winning a great and surprising victory over the Union at Chancellorsville, and with his Army of Northern Virginia in high spirits, General Lee decided to attack the Union Army on northern soil for the second time. After 3 days of heavy fighting and more casualties in the first 2 days of battle than any other 2 days in the war, General Lee was forced to accept defeat and retreat with his army back into war-ravaged Virginia. The Battle of Gettysburg was a crushing defeat to the Confederacy and turned the tide of the Civil War in the Union's favor. In November of 1863, President Abraham Lincoln delivered his most famous speech of the Gettysburg Address at the dedication of a national cemetery at Gettysburg to honor fallen soldiers. This speech powerfully transformed the Union's cause into a struggle for liberty and equality in just 272 words. I had the opportunity to interview the great General Lee and see why he thought the Confederates lost at Gettysburg. General Lee, after your first defeat in the North, what made you take the offensive side and decide to invade a second time?
I had confidence in my army because we had defeated the Army of Potomac at Chancellorsville.
What did the absence of General Jackson have on this battle?
Without my strongest man, I had no one to rely on. Replacing him with Ewell wasn't the best decision I could have made.
What do you believe was the cause of the loss at Little Round Top?
On July 2nd, I ordered my second-in-command, James Longstreet, to attack the Federals as early in the morning as possible. Longstreet opposed, and in my opinion, that's why he didn't get his men into position until 4 p.m.
After the failed assault known as Pickett's Charge, do you think you should have listened to Longstreet?
Yes, we lost 213 men of the men we sent out that day.
What made you withdraw your men a day after battle?
I was anticipating a counterattack July 4th, but it never came, so I accepted defeat and figured it was a waste to sacrifice any more of my men.
General Lee had to return to the front lines. I also had the opportunity to interview Union General George Meade and get his thoughts on the battle. General Meade, why did Abraham Lincoln have more confidence in you than in Joseph Hooker?
The defeat in Chancellorsville left little confidence in General Joseph Hooker for Abraham Lincoln, so he left the army in my hands to claim a victory.
On July 1st, did you feel as if you were going to repeat what happened at Chancellorsville?
At first, yes. Some of my soldiers were running frantically through the streets of town. There were more casualties at the time, and we were forced to fall back. I did not lose hope, though.
On July 2nd, do you feel as if you had an advantage over the Confederates when General James Longstreet got his men into position later than he was supposed to?
Yes, with that we were able to hold Little Round Top.
Do you consider the battle to be over by the end of the third day?
Yes, we successfully defeated the Confederates on Culp's Hill on the right flank, so there was no need for a counterattack.
How did you feel after this victory?
It was my first victory as general. I was proud of my soldiers making this the turning point of the war and eventually winning the Civil War.
Thank you for joining us tonight for this evening's broadcast. This is John Lindsley for the Gettysburg News Station.